People are like pressure washing your house.
Did hit record, so yay. How was everyone's Monday? Was it? Yeah, okay. It's a lot of like, it happened. Mindy, I really like your shirt.
Yeah. Thanks. Very comfy. Found it in Tennessee. Went to an outlet.
Oh, yeah.
Which part of Tennessee?
Pigeon Forge.
Oh, that's right.
Gatlinburg.
That's right, when you were there.
Gatlinburg area, yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting snow tonight, so I don't really want to hear about your no, just kidding.
That means rain for us. So.
What?
What'd you say, Evelyn?
Oh, she gets snow, we get rain, so.
Oh, that's true.
It's sunny
All right,
here.
I would take the over rain, but you don't have to shovel rain.
True.
That's true. Yeah, I think I'd take rain over snow. It depends on the time of year.
Yeah.
I don't love rain.
Late April, rain.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think by that time I'd be like, all right, I'm ready for this. Okay.
Bring flowers.
That's true.
April
Spring, May flowers. I've seen a lot of friends around the country posting that all of their flowers are frozen over because there's been like crazy ice and snowstorms all over. Oh, thank you. I was just noticing that. I left my ring on the kitchen sink, so we just got engaged again. So Josh brought it back to me. He was like, "You need this," and I was like, "Yes, I do." I was like doing raw chicken stuff, and I didn't want it like on my ring because gross. I'm already grossed out by raw chicken stuff, so we're just gonna separate all that out. So, okay, well, let's go ahead. I'm gonna say a word of prayer, and then we will get going. Dear Lord, thank you so much for just letting us make it to this point on Monday. I pray that you would help this meeting tonight to be a lot of fun, that we would be encouraged and just be able to be more motivated and have clear goals set in our businesses. I pray you'd help me as I lead training, that I will be clear, and that you'd help these ladies as they work their businesses every day, that they would just have encouragement, that they would see progress, see success, and that they would see how the little commitments pay off in big, big ways. You know, I pray, amen. Okay, so I kind of liked the order last week where we kind of led with training. That worked really well for my brain. So unless someone's like really passionately against it, I think we're going to do that order for a little while. So we can just kind of get that in there, and then we'll do some recognition. So, okay, how many of you guys, I think everyone on here has seen it. Have you seen some stuff about the micellar water? Yes. So Nancy told me it's pronounced micello, not micellar. And then I've heard like a bunch of other people saying micellar. So I don't really know. I would say what you want to say. And it's not that, I feel like people won't know. They're not going to be like, oh, that's not right. So it's probably fine. But I do have this cool little fact sheet, so you guys can learn a little bit more about the product, which is kind of fun. So how many of you had like heard of this product before Mary Kay came out with it? Okay, Amanda had, Evelyn had. I had someone ask me if we had this like a year and a half ago. She's like, hey, do you guys sell? And then I was like, no, I literally don't even know what that is. So I had heard of it, but only in that context. So I was a little, quite frankly, skeptical when I first heard about this, because I was like, if it's not replacing a cleanser, like what is it doing? What's the point? All right. So if you were a little bit like, okay, I understand, because I was a little bit like, okay, like cool, but like what are we doing with this? So let me just tell you, I have used it several times now. My skin feels so much softer after I use it. And I don't know why, but when it said it would bring the impurities off, I had in my head that it would maybe bring the impurities to the surface and make my skin break out. I don't really know why I had that in my head, but it has not done that. So in case anybody else has that like secret fear in their brain, let me just alleviate that for you. My skin does tend to break out more than I would like it to, and it has done great. The scent is very, very light, so I really don't notice much of a scent to it. A lot of people ask about that. That's a very common question. So I would say very light scent. I wouldn't say floral. I really don't know what I'd liken it to. It's very light and it faded like immediately. So I maybe smelled it when I first put it on the cotton pad, and then it was like gone after I used it. Your face doesn't feel like too wet or too dry after you use it. You don't have to rinse it off because it's water. So that's like really, really nice about it. So those are just some overall how it worked for me. Okay, can you guys, is it quiet enough in the background where you guys are? Yes, can you hear me okay? Okay. Josh is using the sink, so I just want to make sure that that was good timing for all that because he's going to do the dishes. Because dishes have gotten a little behind here in the Bean household, let me tell you guys. So I was like, maybe you could do that. So perfect. All right.
Don't stop that progress.
Yes, it's so true. And he's such a good man. He just jumps in there. I was like, can you? And he's like, you got it. So we're just all thankful for Josh. All right. So here's what it says on this. He just peeked around the corner at me. Here's what it says on our fact sheet for tonight. It's only $17, which I really like because a lot of people want to try something that's not an expensive product. Here's who I think the target market is for this, honestly. Ladies who do not have a skincare routine and don't really want one. I wish everybody in the world wanted one, but not everybody does. You have customers like that. I have customers like that where they want to buy an eyeshadow, a mascara, and a lip gloss, and they want nothing to do with skincare. This is the perfect thing for them. It helps take off at least some of their makeup. It's one step. So this is great for that. I think it's also great for like teenagers who they're just not mature enough or ready for a full skincare routine, or younger girls who maybe could use a little extra cleansing, but their mom's going, they're not responsible enough to do, the botanical set or something. It's also great if you just need a quick refresh. So if you're going to the beach, camping, any kind of situation like that where you're not really going to have great access to water, but you still want to wash your face, this is the perfect product for that. So those are just some ideas for like who to sell this to, who to market this for. Because if you're like me, when I first saw this product, I didn't know how it fit. I didn't know who needed this, if that makes sense. So I really have been thinking about who could use this product, who is this benefiting. So I wanted to kind of share those ideas. Does anybody have any other ideas? Because I know that was not a lot of them. Does anybody have any other ideas of like who would be a good market? Yeah, Mom, who do you?
Just another time. I know like sometimes we drive through the night and I just start feeling gross or it just gets really late. And so I was thinking that would be good. And then yes, camping, because it's like, well, you got this little crazy place to wash your face and it's like, you can't really get all those steps in. So do you think you can go, having used it, you can go from using the micellar to your day cream or your night cream?
I think you could. Oh,
Okay.
that's true, Amanda. Amanda said that Nancy mentioned the gym. That's another
Yeah.
great place. I do think you could use it. I found that my skin wasn't necessarily begging for moisture right afterwards. So, but I do have drier skin. So I knew after a few minutes it probably would be because my skin wants that moisture. So I do think that you could use it in place of a cleanser. I do not think it is as good as a cleanser. So I think it's either better to be used in partnership with a cleanser, like beforehand, or if they just have no routine at all, they don't really want one or whatever, I think it'd be a great, or like those other times where there's a specific reason that you're going, maybe a long plane flight, you've been on the plane all day, I feel so gross after I get off the plane. I don't know why, because there's no real reason for it, but you just do. So this is a great product for kind of those times, would be my thought. So yeah, that was good. And they do have a product mini for it. That's only $250. It's section 2. So it is not, it doesn't count towards our wholesale production. But if you have a customer that's kind of asking a lot of questions like, hey, I think this would be great for travel, they might be more interested in the mini because that could fit in their carry-on. So that might be something that this coming month you're doing as a gift with purchase or something like that. If you feel that the full size or people just want to try it out, we can't sell the section 2 products. I know sometimes that gets into a little bit of gray area. So I wouldn't say, just go out there and lead with the product mini, but that is an option. What I'm offering is they can get a product mini as a gift with purchase when they buy the bundle. And the bundle is an eye makeup remover and a micellar water. And it comes with those free 5 cotton rounds, which I am so excited about because I use cotton rounds to take off my makeup. I was like, this is going to save me so much. The cotton rounds come in this cute little mesh bag, so you can throw it all in the wash all at the same time. So I'm really, really excited about those. But those are just some ideas about how to use it. Here's the fact sheet that Mary Kay gave me. Let me read to you what they said it helps do. It will attract impurities. And I washed my face in the morning with it. And I thought, let's see how it does when I'm not taking off my makeup. And it was pretty orange. And I had washed my face the night before. So I don't know if that was buildup, what I didn't get the last night, or if it was stuff that had, attracted overnight. Because it's not like your face isn't, in the air at night or on your pillow or whatever. I just gross myself out. But all I'm saying is it got some stuff off, so it's definitely doing something on there. It helps break down face makeup. So sometimes, I don't know if you guys have ever had this, but I'll have a customer say, well, hey, does the cleanser take your makeup off? I get that question a lot because people think of that as a secondary step. The answer is yes, but this takes it off even more thoroughly. So if they're really concerned about like, yeah, I really want to make sure I'm getting my makeup off, this is a great step before that. It cleanses skin gently. This is the most gentle probably cleanser we'll have because it's basically water. So if you have someone with really, really sensitive skin and they are looking for something really, really gentle, this would be a great option for someone who really has a hard time with most cleansers and things, because it's basically water with a couple like added ingredients. It leaves your skin hydrated. I did feel that way. Like I said, my skin was not screaming for moisture after I used it. So I really do think that that's nice because it makes it very easy to use for a lot of skin types. And there's no need to rinse it off. So that's the other beautiful thing. It is the easiest product we have to use when it comes to cleansing, because you don't have to, you just use your cotton pad. You don't even have to have your hair in a ponytail with a headband. You can have your hair down because you're using that cotton pad to take it all off. So it is the easiest prep and the easiest finish. So those are some really big benefits for it, because I had to sell myself on this one because I wasn't sure where I felt. And the more I thought about it, the more I've been like, there's a real place in what we do for this product. It says for a quick cleanse, gently cleanse and refresh skin when you're on the go or in a rush. Attract impurities with a few soft swipes of a saturated cotton ball or pad, no rinsing required. Now here's something interesting. Oh, let me plug in my computer before I disappear. That would be exciting. I always forget to have this thing plugged in before we start our meeting. Okay, so this is what micelles are, and that's what's in micellar water. They're called micelles. Micelle water is made with purified water and low concentrations of mild surfactants. I think that's how you say that. The surfactants group together, forming tiny spheres called micelles. Micelles love impurities and act like magnets to attract the buildup of the day or night away from the skin. So it's almost like the charcoal mask. The charcoal mask is like that magnet to draw out the deep impurities. This is drawing off the surface impurities. So I just really like that. So that kind of gives you an overview of the product. I have it here. I showed it on the video the other day in the Facebook group, but in case you missed it, or in case you just want to see it again, I like to see products lots of times. This is the size of it. It is bigger than our eye makeup remover. That's the best. I should have had mine out, but I don't. That's the best comparison I have for it. This is 5 fluid ounces. I think the eye makeup remover is 3.75. The top looks like our toners. So that's how it comes out. And they say in the order of when you would use this, it will be this, and then your cleanser, and then your toner, so on and so forth. So this is like just the first step that you're going to do. So does anybody have any questions about this product? I did such a good job, apparently. Yay. I think it's a really cool thing. I have several cousins with like middle school daughters. I feel like this is a great solution for people who have maybe more than one kiddo, and it's just trying to get everybody out the door in the morning for school is enough. We don't need to add a skincare routine yet. This is a great product to offer moms. I'm excited about it too. And it's only $17. So it's in a really good price range as well, because not everybody can or wants to afford a full skincare line or something like that. So this is really, really nice for that. Okay. So that's the first thing I wanted to go over, because I feel like we have a cool new product launch like that. Yeah. Okay. So for anybody who has not seen it on the Facebook group, I think most of these ladies have, but I know we have ladies who watch the recording. I posted a cute little game in our Fearless Unit group where I posted like 4 different questions about the micellar water, and your customers vote on the pictures. And then the next day you post the answers. So it's really cute. All of the info's in the Fearless Unit group. My customers have really liked that too. And I told them if they answered all 4 questions correctly, they would get free shipping on their next order. So it's not even like a big thing to offer. All of mine have guessed 3 out of 4 correctly. So currently, I don't even know anything. I might give it to everybody if they did 3 out of 4, just to be, kind. Another way to be a great consultant, but it's kind of fun. People are involved in this, and it helps give them something to be involved with. I might, I've been seeing a lot about when we're going live or when we're posting in our groups and stuff, we're all kind of an information overload. Do you feel that way? I feel that way. Where there's just there's a lot of information that you can consume all the time. So I have been seeing a lot of recommendations that when we're posting something, to make it interactive, so they're not just like being bombarded with information, give them something short and sweet. Say, hey, do you think this is true or false? And it gives them something they can think about for a second, interact with. When you go live, a lot of people say it's really fun to play like a game. Like say, hey, while I'm letting this charcoal mask dry on my face, type your best knock knock joke in the comments. Little stuff like that. It has nothing to do with Mary Kay, but we all have our favorite knock knock joke. Like that's just true. So I just think that the more fun we can make something, the more people want to come back to it. So if you haven't thought in a while, like how can I make this fun? It's a good thing to really think about, because I like to go do stuff that makes me feel good and happy, because there's a lot of places I can go that'll make me feel sad and depressed. So I want to be the opposite of that, especially in my customer group. So that's why I came up with that game. If this is a team effort. If you have a game that pops up into your mind about this product or another product, feel free to share those. Mary Kay Ash used to say, if you have a good idea and I have a good idea, we both have a good idea. So Mary Kay, we share our two good ideas. Yeah, we have two good ideas. So you're right. If we both have a good idea, that does keep it at one. I did that wrong. So thank you. That's the purpose of sharing these things. It'll help us be stronger because we're together with it. And that is going to help. I don't know, because I don't always have the best ideas. I don't always have the best games, but sometimes I'll see something on somebody else's customer page and I'll go, oh, that is brilliant. So feel free, if you're seeing something that's working on your page and everyone's responding to it, share it in the group. Or if you're like, oh, I don't know if I should, you can always text me and I'll let you know, oh, hey, yeah, I think that's great to share. Or, well, maybe not. Like I will be honest with you. But usually when you're having something that's working really well, that's a great thing to kind of share with everyone. Okay, the next thing, turning the page, that I wanted to kind of go over tonight. We're having kind of a casual training tonight. I'm just kind of all over the place, but I felt like there were several different things. And I thought we put them all in one training, that makes it not take up all of everyone's time. The second thing is our 5 days of faves practice party. Is everyone in this and on the Zoom live right now? Are you guys all in it? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. Now I know we're going to have some people that are watching the recording that may not know about this. I put a link for a practice party that I'm doing with our unit in the Fearless unit group. And what it is, it's a new party style that I have been doing. I've been really enjoying it. And Amanda has done a couple of them as well. So she's like, we've kind of been learning together this past week. Nancy Beckwith has done several of these now, and they've been very successful for her. So it's not like this random idea we came up with. We don't know if this is going to work. Lots of people have been having really good sales with it. And here's the principle of the 5 days of faves party. You go live in a group for 5 days, 5 minutes at a time, about 5 products. So today in my party groups, I have 2 parties this week. I went live about the satin hand set. That's 3 products. And then also the satin lips set. That's 5 products total. It was very easy to go over this in 5 minutes, because I think it was actually like 4.5 minutes, because it doesn't take a lot of time to talk about these products. But here's what I offer my hostess. If she has 5 friends that interact with the videos throughout the week, and they don't have to interact every day, it's just 5 people total over the course of the week, she gets a half price discount, like a half price shopping spree. So she can get $80 worth of product for $40. So I cap it at 80. I did not the first time. That was a mistake I made. I should not have. Don't just let them go wild and spend, get $400 worth 200. So learn from my mistakes. I haven't had anyone do that, but that kind of stuff can happen. So 80 for 40 is good. And then the option to get an unlimited shopping spree is if we have $300 in sales. You can change that price, but that's what Nancy has been really successful with. I think it's either 200 or 300, pick your price. If we have $200 in sales from the party and 1 booking for another party, then they get an unlimited half price shopping spree. I really like that, because you're not going to lose any money on it. It's really easy for your guests to interact. Here's the other thing I'm finding that I like more than the posting party is that people get to know me. Because when you're just posting the picture of the product, I know we do our in-post, but they're hearing my voice. They're seeing my quirky mannerisms. They've met Oakley because she's involved. So they're getting to know me as a person, and it takes it from being just, I don't know, some unfamiliar human that's just like clicking on a computer, to being like, oh, that's a person. We both love coffee. Oh, I like her outfit today. Or, hey, we have that in common. I grew up in Arizona too. It makes it much more personable. And I think it helps build those connections. I honestly don't always love going live. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for it. Sometimes I didn't feel like getting ready that day, so I don't look like I should be on camera. So I have honestly been a little hesitant about going live in parties, but you guys, as soon as I started doing it, I kind of knew, oh, this is a really good move. Here's a couple things that I loved. I was feeling a little stuck in getting new bookings. You do not have to raise your hand, but if you felt that way, this is a great thing to do because you can go back to your hostesses that you've had in the past and say, hey, can I borrow your group and try this party style in there? And you can just start from where you've already been. So I would say, here's a couple things to learn from my mistakes. I just kind of went back to all of my hostesses and almost all of them said yes. A couple of them just didn't answer at all, but I had so many that said yes, I didn't even have time to go back and check. Instead of going back to all of your hostesses, I would pick like your best hostesses because some of those parties weren't great the first time around. Nothing changed the second time around. So you will save yourself a little heartache if you'll just go back and focus on like your best parties, the ones where people were interacting and you got some sales or you got another booking. And then I found that people that weren't engaged the first time around are more engaged with these live videos. So you're, even though it's the same group, you're actually kind of meeting new people because some people weren't like, you know, they didn't comment on any of the things you posted before, but they're commenting on your live videos. So I've gotten sales and made new connections with people that were already in this group that had never really said or done anything. So that is a great place to start. I did learn from my friend Karen. She's a fellow director. She said that her best parties with this have been in brand new groups. So to think of when you're going back to your hostesses from the past and redoing this in their group, think of it as a practice party. This is where you're going to learn how to do it with people that already kind of know you, a hostess that's already comfortable with you. And it may not be your very best with sales and comments, but you're going to learn the skill of doing this. And you have to learn the skill of doing this somewhere. There's no, we don't get to skip the learning curve. I know a lot of us would like to, but we don't get to. So this is a great place to learn that skill. And that's why I created that practice party, because I know some people don't want to learn a new skill in front of their customers, even if it's customers they already know. So you can learn these skills in front of consultants who, what better place to learn this? We don't care. If I mean, Oakley has lost her mind during a couple of my live videos in these groups where I've had to like literally stop and re-upload. It happens. There's like real life happening. So if you're in the consultant group, real life can happen, and we will not only be sympathetic, we'll be like, oh yeah, I've been there. So it's okay if your phone dies in the middle or your lighting is terrible and you need to learn that. This is the place to learn that because you're just with your fellow consultants. And here's my favorite part. When you go live, when you're done, it'll ask you if you want to post or if you want to delete. If you're like, I really did not enjoy that experience, you can just delete it and try again. So this is not one of those permanent things where once it's out there, you're stuck. It was, you know, you can choose if you want to share. And if you're like, oh, yeah, that went okay, I shared what I meant to share. This is, you know, and now I want to learn how to upload this, how to edit the caption. That's a great way to do that. So I want to take away some of the fear of going live because I just know it's not everyone's favorite thing to do. It's honestly not my favorite thing to do, but I've gotten a lot more comfortable with it in this past week because that's just how it was. I learned a couple things. When you're going live, don't wait until you're ready. I would kind of get myself set. I get my products here. I'd have a plan for what I was going to say and I'd hit go live so that I couldn't sit there and overthink about what I was going to say because I could procrastinate for another 10 minutes before I actually went live. So if you'll just keep yourself moving, it'll just be a lot better. I have not gone live in our practice party today yet. I only went live yesterday with the intro post. So I need to do that in there. The other beautiful thing about the 5 Days of Faith party is that you can go live whenever it works for your schedule. You can go live at 8 a.m. one day and at 5 p.m. the next day. No one's worried about it. They're watching it whenever they can watch it. You're going live whenever you can go live, and it's not important. You tag them whenever you can. Sometimes I've gone live in the morning and I have not gotten a chance to edit and tag everybody until 1 p.m. Once again, that's okay. You can just do it in your little snippets of time. So in some ways, it's a little bit easier than a posting party because you don't have to have either 30 minutes ahead of time to get everything scheduled a different day. You don't have to, you're just 5 minutes here and there. You get back with the people as they ask questions. I've had a girl asking me questions about the satin handset all day long. She asks a question, I answer her a little while, and we've gone back and forth. It's very, very easy to maintain. I will say one thing I learned from last week is that most of your sales will come after the party is done. So don't be worried about it. If you're like on Wednesday getting lots of comments, but nobody's buying anything, they just want to see what you're doing all week. They want to see all the products, kind of get the scoop, and then they'll make their orders. And then the other thing, Nancy and myself and Karen and Amanda will all tell you is that all of your sales come in the follow-up. That did not change. You might get some sales that are in the videos or like from the links that you post, but most of the sales that you're going to get are in the follow-up afterwards. I've been using my mom's virtual party follow-up religiously for these parties because it's helping me follow up with people. I updated, I like edited her virtual party follow-up to be one that's specifically for 5 days of faves, so that you like have a, like, how do I go live? Have I done this step, this step, this step? Yes, I did upload it in the 5 days of faves practice party. So that's in the files there. So there's tools that are there to help you with it, but at the end of the day, there's nothing that can skip. We can't skip past the learning curve. So if you're like, oh man, I'm just really nervous about this, you know, sometimes we just got to do it before we're ready, because sometimes we're never ready. If I had waited to start Mary Kay until I was ready, I would still not be in Mary Kay. So sometimes you just kind of got to start, and it's not going to be as bad as you think it is. Like, lives are very natural. I think we make them out to be this huge production and like, oh my goodness, like 600 people are going to watch. A really fun fact, in these Facebook parties, you usually have 0 people watching while you're live. They're all watching later. So it's actually really low pressure. So you don't, I did 8 parties last week. I had 0 people on there live with me on any of those 8 parties. This week, however, I have one girl who, like, I don't know, she's just always on when I'm live. And that's been kind of fun because she'll comment while I'm doing it to something relevant I just said. So there's just not a sad or hard thing about it. It's just a new skill. So if you want to be part of that, just send me a message, because I know some people that are watching this recording may not have known about that group. So just let me know that you'd like to be in there, and I will send you an invite so you can kind of see how we're doing this. And that is just what I'd love for that group to be. Okay, I have a couple messages in the chat. I'm frozen, I think. Great. Do you let your hostess invite new people? Great question. Yes. In fact, you might want to encourage, if you're going back to an old party, you might want to encourage your hostess to add new people, because they may have met new people since your party, or they may have been people they meant to invite last time that they forgot. So you can definitely encourage her to do that. Yeah, that's a great question. Oh, one more question that Janet had for me. She said, do you have to do this with the hostess, or can you just do it in your customer group? The answer is yes, you can do it either way. In fact, a lot of people like to do a kind of practice party for themselves in their hostess group. I didn't mean that, in their customer group, where they're just practicing with their customers. And then from there, they say, hey, so now you've seen what this party looks like, and then you can book with your customers that are in your customer group, because they've seen what you've done all week. And some people just, they want to see what it is before they're going to book with you. I kind of get that. I do. I've booked parties with people before, like for virtual stuff. And then I was a little nervous because I didn't really know what that kind of party was going to look like. So it can take some nerves away from your hostess, just seeing what this is going to be like. And your customers are going to be really, really gracious if you're like, oh, I forgot to actually bring my satin hand set. So like stuff happens while you're already live, and you're like, so I have 2 of my 5 products. I'll be right back. Your customers are going to laugh, and they're going to go, well, that's real. I know her. So that, that's not from experience or anything, but I'm sure that could, you know, happen to someone. But those are the kinds of things that happen. It's just fine. Okay, oh, Mindy, yes.
Do you have, I mean, this maybe sounds weird, but do you have 25 products you use on a regular basis of Mary Kay? I haven't tried them all yet.
That's a
So
great
I know
question.
25, but so I feel like I'd have a hard time talking about it if I haven't used it yet.
That is such a good question. So there's a couple different ways to approach this. What I did last week was I went live about 25 products I do personally use. I was shocked at how many products I do use, because I felt, because turned out I had a lot more left. So I know a lot about the Mary Kay products. It's like part of what happens to you once you're in. That half price discount will get you. But what I learned was Karen had made a set sheet. And what she did was she just went live about the products that she had in the sets that she was selling at the end. So it took away some of the like, so what am I going to share about today? Have I used this? So I think there's honestly room, because it might be that some of the products I share about, you're going, I don't use that. That's not for me. One set that they shared about a lot in theirs is Clinical Solutions. That's not a product that I've been using. I know it's an excellent product, but I haven't shared about that one in my live videos because I haven't used that. And yes, I do. I will add that. My mom just asked if I have that set sheet. I will upload it into our 5 days of faves party tonight, because there's no reason for you guys to have to wait till the end of the week. But let me think. Here's the products she went live about: satin hands and satin lips. So that's pretty easy. That was day 1. Day 2 is all about skincare. So, and I can post all of this in that 5 days of faves party as well. So you guys have a schedule. Day 1, here's what you'll go live about. So you don't have to wait for me every day. I'm going to write that down so that I can put that in there as well. Post 5 days schedule. Day 2, she went live about skincare. So she used the Miracle Set 3D. You could also use the Repair Set. There's no right or wrong answer on that, but the Miracle Set is 4 products. So that kind of writes itself. And then I also added the Serum C plus E to that, because that's one product that I love. You could use the micellar water and talk about that on that day, you know? So you can pick your 5 products there. Day 3, I believe she went live with the foundation bundle. And here's an interesting thing. I learned that Nancy and Karen don't always actually do 5 products. A couple days they did 2 or 3 products, and then other days they did like 7. So I don't think people are really counting. I don't know. Apparently I'm more of a rule follower than I knew. So I've done like 5 every day because that's how I was told to do it. So that was just super funny to me. So let me think. I know she did a foundation bundle for one of them where it was foundation primer, matte foundation, translucent powder. I will post these later because boy, I'm not gonna be able to tell you on the spot, but 5 days of faves. That's true. It's not 5 products every day about the days of faves. So you can do what you want with that. So you could say it's 3 products. I have marketed it to, that's a lot to say, to my people as being 5 products every day. But if you just don't really emphasize that, you can do whatever you want. Because I didn't even talk about the satin body or any of that stuff. Nancy did like all of that. So she covered a lot more products than I did. So I think it's, yeah, kind of a preference thing, but I'll post what it is that they did and you can edit it. Because if you go, you know, that's not a product that I've used, or that's just not my favorite product, you don't have to talk about it because you can't, I'll just be honest, you cannot be passionate about a product that you don't love. I was a slow warm up to the hydrogel eye patches. Actually, the first time I used them, I did not like them at all. In fact, I had one demo set for me and I gave it to my grandma and I haven't even had them on my shelf in about a year. That's how much I didn't like them. And then we started doing these self-care skincare parties and I was the one that had to like talk about them. So I thought I'm gonna need to learn how to love these. And now I actually do. But all that to say, it's okay if you don't love every product that we're showing. Pick products you like and you'll either maybe grow into it or you will find other products. Oh, you're religious about the, the hydrogel eye patches in your house? I don't know what I do wrong. Mine slowly slide down my face the whole time I'm using them. And it's funny because on self-care skincare, I'm like sharing about the marketing while I'm and
All
like,
that last week.
and I'm like trying to act cool like it's not happening. And I have like one down here on my face. I'm like, I don't think anyone can listen to me because I have a hydrogel. So that's what I'm saying. When you go live, stuff happens. They remind me of jellyfish. They remind me of jellyfish because they're pink and sparkly. And oh, you guys, this is still troubling me, but this is so off topic and then I'll get back on. But I used my hydrogel eye patches the other week, like not even during self-care skincare. I really do like them. So I was using them a different time and I accidentally got 2 out of one side. So they're uneven now because I used 2 on one eye and 1 on the other. And I'm gonna have to use 2 on the other sometime. That's okay. Josh said that. He said, is there anywhere else on your face that you can use it? And I was like, you're a smart man. So, but I did it wrong. So bothers me. Yeah. Yeah. You can just like slap them all over your face. We should have a contest to see who can find the most places. That would be a memory. Mindy she's telling you to do it, Mom, I think.
New game. How many eye patches on your face?
Okay, as a unit, we should like post these pictures and then we're gonna share them with our customers and be like, our unit had a silly contest to see where we could use these hydrogel eye patches that weren't traditional places. Here you go. That sounds very fun. Okay, the last thing I was gonna talk to you guys about tonight was setting goals. This has been such a fun meeting. This is just great. All right, so setting goals can be something that I am both great at and terrible at all in swoop. I'm great at a great visionary goal. I am terrible at the day in, day out, getting that done, like how to set those little smaller goals. So let's take a couple of minutes to talk about how to set a realistic goal, because here's the thing. I know that they say to shoot for the moon, you'll land among the stars. But if I'm being honest, sometimes if I say I'm shooting for the moon, I'm not really shooting for anything. I already know I'm not going to get that done. Like I already knew it. So it's okay if you're saying, yeah, my goal's not that big. Your goal doesn't have to be big. Your goal just has to be a goal you want. So here's a really, really practical thing that I have never been really faithful about, but I decided I'm going to do it. And I'm curious to see if you guys will be interested in trying the same thing. So they say, hi, honey, we're glad you're here. Honey's here helping us helping us train. Amanda, you're cracking me up. Oh my goodness. Okay, so with setting goal, the thing that they say is really helpful. Our husbands, men in their lives, the thing they want to see from Mary Kay is show me the money. They want to see us making money with it. So I have never done this well, but it's something that I wish I had done all along when I was doing Mary Kay. They say to pick one bill that you're going to pay with your Mary Kay profits. And when your husband sees you helping to pay the bills with your Mary money, he'll be on board with it. If he's already on board with it, that's great. But it's also going to help him see, oh, she can do this. So here's what I'd recommend. Don't pick your biggest bill. Okay. Don't be like, I'm going to pay my mortgage with Mary Kay money this month. Maybe you could do that. Maybe you couldn't. But I would say you don't have to shoot for the moon. But if you have a bill that's, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, one of your smaller bills, because it probably is all different for all of us with different plans and, states and all these things, but pick one of your smaller bills. Or maybe you say, hey, you know what, groceries next week, I'm going to buy groceries next week on Mary Kay money. Or I'm going to take my family out to dinner on Mary Kay money. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bill, but pick something where your Mary Kay profit, you're going to do something that affects your family so they kind of know what's going on. Because another thing that it can be really, really easy to do with our businesses is get very private about them, because, you don't want to share all your goals and dreams with someone who doesn't understand it. So I'm not saying you have to share every in and out with your family, but when they see that you're bringing home money from Mary Kay, they're going to go, oh yeah, okay, that's a business. And it just clicks for them, and it will take some pressure off of you feeling like Oakley's got her squeaky toy in the background. It'll take some pressure off of you feeling like you have to prove yourself to your family and saying, yeah, I'm doing Mary Kay. So that's something that I think is really practical, to pick a bill or pick a small thing that you're going to do. And you guys, that scared me so much. I don't know what she sees. I think there's a cat out there. Anyway, pick that bill. And when you have that goal in mind, it'll help you work on the days you don't feel like working, and it will help you stick to it, and it'll help motivate you. 1 minute, I'm going to go see if I can help you calm down.
Going for the treats.
I'm sorry about that, but here we are. So it's just even more information about going live and that being real stuff. Okay, so once you have your bill chosen, it'll help keep you on track. It'll help you stay motivated. And then over time, you'll be able to pick larger bills. You'll be able to, take different things. What I'm going to do for the next couple months, what I'm focusing on is Josh and I are going to take a trip for our anniversary. We were going to do it last year, but then pandemic happened. So I want to be able to pay for the whole trip from Mary Kay money, because we use Josh's, his income goes towards all our bills and mortgage and all that stuff. And mine's always covered all of the extra things. So now a lot of it gets sometimes just extra mortgage payments, but I thought that'd be really nice to be able to just take care of that. So it's not coming from our budgeted family income. It's just, it's a fun thing. And I can do that now because as a director, I get to make a little bit more. So it helps make that more practical. But that was not a goal I should have set when I was a new consultant and I was, still learning how to sell and everything. So set a goal that's reasonable to what you're doing. And if you go, wow, I'm just not sure if I could pay for anything with my Mary Kay income right now, well, then let's see what we can do to start getting some parties on the books for you and get your business back going. I have had many times where being an entrepreneur is a little bit of a roller coaster. So there are times when it's like, yeah, I've been at the bottom trying to like get back up for a little while now. And it's just like, you kind of feel like you're just rocking back and forth there at the bottom and you can't get your momentum. So that's the time to kind of reach out and say, I need to try something new. That's always the thing to do when you're like stuck. Just try something new. If it's the 5 days of faves, great. If it's just, being more faithful with following up with your customers you already have and seeing how their products are working for them, if they're happy with them, that's the kind of stuff where just try something that you haven't done in a while and that'll start your momentum. They always say motion makes momentum. So sometimes we don't know what motion to go in. Making a list is a great place to start. I avoid list making. I don't know why. But as soon as I do start making that list, I'm always like, okay, I can do this now. And it just helps me get in there. So if you need to make a list of like, okay, what are some practical things I could do in my business? Well, I could reach out to Susie and Jenny and Hope today and just see how their products are working. Well, that's something practical for your business. I haven't posted in my customer group for a while. I wanted to be more faithful with that. All right, I'm going to post in my group today. So make a list of things that are working for your business. And that'll help you be able to set those goals because you have to have some business to work off of to be able to, pay that one bill or be able to go on that one trip. And they say that to set a reasonable goal, you need to have a time frame set on it. So don't just say, I want to, I don't know, kind of a big goal, be like, yeah, I want to make a great income with Mary Kay. Well, what does that mean? How long do you have to do that? Like that's a very broad goal. So instead make a measurable goal. Okay, in the next 30 days, I want to have been able to pay for this bill and been able to take my family out to dinner. That's very tangible and it gives you 30 days within to operate with that. Will you miss some goals along the way? Absolutely. just know that. But if you aren't setting a goal, you have nowhere to go with it. And honestly, when you don't get to spend any of your Mary Kay money, you're not going to enjoy your business so much. You kind of end up resenting it a little bit because you're going, I just spending money on this. And I don't, even if I make some money, I kind of put it back in the business or, have something that you're going to enjoy from your business because it'll help you really get back to the joy of doing Mary Kay and then make it measurable things. Okay, so if I want to be able to pay this bill this month and I'm going to take my family out for dinner, how much money is that? So get your number and then go, okay, so then how much, let's just say your bill is going to be $50 and then you have a family of 4, so it's going to be about $50 to take them out to dinner, whatever your numbers are. So say we need $100 profit. That means we'd have to sell how much to have $100 profit? You need to sell 200, right? Because we got our 50%. So you need to sell 200. Okay. So how do I sell 200? My average party, I sell about, fill in the blank. We're all going to have a little bit different averages right now. So some parties are going to be higher. Some parties are going to be lower. I'd say if you want to make 200 profit safely, you would say, all right, I probably want to book 3 parties. I'll probably make more than 200, but that gives me room if one of my parties doesn't go very well, or one of my parties is just like, they all order way later, because you can't control when people are going to order. So you probably want to have about 3 parties to guarantee that, give you that nice kind of buffer for it. And then you say, okay, so if I need 3 parties, I need 3 hostesses. Okay, to get 3 hostesses, do I need to ask 3 people or more than 3 people? Pop quiz. More than 3, yeah. So you have to ask more than 3 people. So you say, okay, 1 in 3 is the company average. So I need to ask 9 people to be a hostess. Well, then we need to make a list of who our 9 people are. So you kind of work backwards from how much you want and what it takes to get there. So we've made our list of 9 people. All right, so what are we going to say to those people? Like, what's a script we're going to use? Do you need a script? Great. That's when you'll reach out to me or my mom and we'll give you a script. Here's how you can book this. Once you have them booked, then you say, okay, I got to pick some dates that you want to have parties. Then you can pick your party times. Let you be in charge of your schedule. Give them 2 days that work well for you. If neither of those work, then you can get a little more flexible. But the dentist, they tell you when you're coming. And you move everything, do that. So it's okay to be a business about it and not, let everybody run you over with when they're available. It's okay to have some boundaries with that. If Friday night, like you don't want to work your business, then don't offer Friday nights. And if you need to make an exception, make it an exception and, you know, move date night that week or whatever it is that you need to do. So you've got your bookings and that's going to lead to your sales. And at your party, you're probably going to meet your next hostess. And that's how you get your next party. So the next month you can pay that bill and take your family out to dinner and get a pedicure. You know, you can like grow what you want to do every month as you make more in your business. So I would say, I don't think it's bad advice to shoot for the moon. I understand what they're saying with that, but I also know realistically, I want a goal I know I can do. So whatever it is for you, if you say, I don't even, you know, I just want to make 50 bucks. If 100 feels overwhelming to you, I get it. I have totally been there where making $100 profit felt like climbing Mount Everest. I've had times like that in my business. Okay. So if you're sitting there going, I don't even know if that's on the table for me right now, that's okay. I just want you to hear my heart on that. That's okay. If you say, I want to make $25 profit this week, so I want to sell 50, then make a plan. Honestly, half of the work is done when you have a plan for how to get there. You will like sleep better when you're like, okay, so here's the action steps I'm going to take. It is okay wherever you are in business. If you say I sell $500 every week, if you say I shoot to sell $50 every week, and some weeks I hit it and some weeks I don't, it doesn't really matter. Set a goal that you feel like, okay, I can own this goal and this is my goal. As you achieve goals, you'll become more confident and you'll be able to set bigger goals, but in proportion to how your business is running. Does that make sense? Because I feel like you know, I've heard the phrase a lot, you can't know where you're going if you haven't, you know, if you, oh man, I'm going to get that all mixed up. It's the one where you'll hit it every time. If you aim for nothing, you'll hit it every time. That was terrible. We'll have to edit the recording for that. Just like go back and take out that 30 seconds. But you have to aim for something. I have been very guilty of just kind of wandering in my business and not setting a short-term goal where I'll say, oh yeah, I want to be a director, but I was in a red jacket. Was it a great goal to be a director? Well, yes, but it took me many, many more months before I got there. So it would have been wiser on my part to set okay, well, this week, here's how I want to sell and grow my customer base. And here's the 2 people I'm going to share the opportunity with. That would be a more realistic and more sustainable way of growing into that goal. So whatever your goal is, I'm not going to pick it for you because I shouldn't, because I'm not going to have the same goals as you. Whatever your goals are, if you say, you know what, I really want to focus on just building my customer base, well, then we need to get some parties so you can meet those new people to build that customer base. If you say, I really want to earn my red jacket, we need to have some parties so you can meet the next people you're going to share with. You'll hear a common theme. It is parties. I've heard some people say that you don't need to do parties and all this stuff, and I don't even understand what they're talking about. I think they're wrong. This is in other businesses where they're like, oh yeah, parties, that's not how we do their business. Well, that is how we do our business in Mary Kay. So I know that in social media, sometimes you'll get a lot of opinions and voices from people who are going to tell you what's working and what's not. I've gotten a lot of that lately from people who are not in Mary Kay. And I'm just here to tell you that in Mary Kay, parties are where it's at. It'll take you everywhere you want to go. It'll give you the sales you want. It'll help you meet the people you want to meet to work your business with. It'll help you grow your customer base. It'll give you skills on how to, share about the products and how to, get better at this business. So I just want to give you confidence on that end as well. Does anybody have any questions about goal setting or kind of some of those action steps with that? Yes, Mom.
I just want to say that in April, I told Whitney the beginning of the month, my goal was to have 8 parties in April. And mostly because I need to grow my team too, and I needed to meet some new people. And so I reached out to people that I had reached out to before, quite a few of them, but 2 said yes. And from those 2 parties, I am having party number 7 tomorrow. I don't know if I'll get 8 in, but I've had tremendous sales this month, and I've had a lot of opportunity shares. No new team members yet, but they're back there. It's in the layering process. So parties are where it's at, and my goal was 8. I might still get 8 because you can have a turnover pretty quickly. But I thought about having a what do we call it? 5 days of fat in my group or something, but I don't know. Anyway, but that is so true, because I was like, okay, I've already asked my friends and maybe they will join Mary Kay later, but I'm not there right there with them. So I just needed to meet new people, and that's what's happened.
Because parties are where it's at. I love that because I think sometimes we just get in our own head that our business where it is today is where it's always going to be. So if you are in a rough patch, I just want to like hear my heart on this. It's not always going to be that way. And if it's a really, really great stretch, that's great too, but it's probably not always going to be that way. It's going to have those ups and downs. So just if you're consistent, that's going to work. I like your earrings, Evelyn. Okay, yeah, she has those big earrings. They're fabulous from Mary Kay. You guys are all commenting about how I didn't have my earrings in last night. And I was like, you're right, I don't. I can't believe it. I always have my earrings in. Okay, you guys. Oh man, I talked so long. I'm so sorry. I had no idea the time was going by so quick. We were just chatting about products and things. So I am going to turn it over to my mom to do a little bit of career path recognition.
Okay, great. Is that good? Okay. All right. So we are kind of veterans on here. So I'm going to look here where we are. Do we have any, we don't have any brand new beauty consultants in here. And I feel like we don't have any just beauty consultants on here. Right. Okay. Do we have any senior consultants on here? Yes. Yay. Great. So 1 to 2 active team members and both working towards becoming red jackets, I believe, right? So good. Okay. So do we have any star recruiters with 3 to 4 team members? Yes. Okay. Super. And then team leaders is 5 to 7. And I think Amanda's kind of flip-flopping back and forth, which is pretty normal in there. And then after that is elite team leader, which is with 8. And you know, ladies, I went from red jacket and then it was just like all those people I've been talking to, they just joined right in a row. And I went like star, team, elite. And then I was like, oh, if that all happened, then where am I in relationship to DIQ, which is where I am now. And it just kind of all came all at once. But it was at first a little bit challenging to get to red jacket. So, but then it just kind of snowballed. And what do I love about my Mary Kay life? I love Monday meeting. Honest answer, I had a horrible end of my week last week, and it was not a great weekend because of that. So this has been the highlight of the last 4 or 5 days. And so I love the ladies. And then I have had a great couple of weeks sales and parties and things. So I love that too, because I have a little, we do the Every Dollar app, and my Mary Kay is just like building up because we're going to Florida the end of next month. And I love to see that in there because that's ice cream and toys and eating out with the kiddos and Whitney too, the grown-ups too, and Oakley might even get a treat. I don't know. So that is, and then we have our fabulous director, Mrs. Whitney Beam, not Miss. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you for going through that. You like did that really, really quickly, which I appreciate because I didn't give you any time. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Amanda, and she is going to do some recognition for our business accomplishments this past week. So take it away.
Guys, okay, so if you opened your store for business last week and made any sales, small or large, can you wave at us? Yay! Awesome, everybody. Good job, guys. That's exciting. Yes. Okay. And then if you had a grand day last week, can you wave at us? I had like, yay! Wow, way to go. That is, I love that. Okay, so now we'll do the high sales for the week. This is going to be the, sorry, Adeline is coloring all this paper, to 18th to 24th. So, okay. So if you sold $100, can you wave at us? Okay. Wow. Okay. If you sold 150, wave at us. Yay. Okay. 200. Wow. That's amazing. 250. Oh, look at you guys go. That's amazing. Good job. 300. Wow, Amy, awesome. Okay, can you unmute and tell us how much you sold? And good job, Evelyn. Like, wow, that is amazing.
Yes, way to go. 450.
Wow. Okay. Is all these parties or something else you're doing?
Mostly parties and then a new repair set user, but mostly parties. And the parties are still, I had sales today again. So working on next week. So
Thank-
parties are where it's at.
Yes, that is
I'm
true.
gonna interrupt because I want to know how our runner-up for Queen of Sales. I would love to know how
Yes.
you got your sales too. It's not even on the list, but I want to know.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was kind of the timing. I talked to you about it on Friday. It happened to be a friend of mine was working on an order, and so she came up, and it's something I've been going over with her, and just the follow-up and keeping up with it and all of that just had her come through, and then a couple other people that kept putting off, because I've had since my debut party, I'm gonna order. So they're finally ordering, 2 months later. So yay.
Well, that is awesome. That is so exciting. Sorry, being bombarded. Okay. Do we have any sparklers yet? Any sparklers? Awesome, Amy, yay. And then anyone that plans to be a sparkler this month? I know I do. Awesome. Good. Let me see here. I got my little list because I don't think I've done this one before, so I'm making sure I don't miss anything. Okay. Did anyone recognize those who shared the opportunity last week? So awesome. I did too. Okay. So one person, did you share with 2 people? Yep, I did too as well. Yeah, awesome. That is good. Were they people that you had come to the party? Is that who you shared with, Amy?
Yes, they were all from the parties, and there's actually 1 or 2 more. And my weekend was so crazy. I'm the one who dropped the ball in following up on getting the call in. So maybe some will come to the coffee tonight. But yeah, there was at least 2 more, maybe 3 that I need to follow up with who've watched the video, and I haven't done a phone call yet.
Yeah, you're gonna get a new teammate anytime. Yeah, you are so close. That is awesome. And then, did anyone recruit a new team member last week? Not yet, but it's coming soon. Okay, yay. Well, thanks for letting me share that.
Yay, thank you. That was great, ladies. I just love seeing, nothing could do my heart as much good as when we say, did anybody open their store for business last week? And every hand goes up. Like, that is so great. So you should be proud of yourself. I don't care if it's an eyeshadow or a miracle set. It's a nice thing when we sell. Okay, so a couple quick announcements. There's not a lot left because I kind of covered a lot of the stuff. Remember that we're doing the April Showers contest. I would love to give that bag away when we hit 10,000 in production. That's how I get to give it away. You get to pick your color, and that is saved in the announcements section of the Fearless group. So if you don't remember how you get all your entries, you can hop on there and you will see that in that graphic. And then I talked about our 5 days of phase practice party. So let me know if you want in on that if you're not already there. We are going to do a 10 envelopes contest. So we need to get some teammates, because when we get 10 people in our unit in a month, everybody that recruits gets their name on an envelope. So if you have 1 person that joins your team, you get 1 envelope. If you have 2 people, you get 2 envelopes. But whenever our unit gets 10 people in our unit, you each get your name on the envelope, and then we'll open them up, and one of them will have $100 cash in there. So I'm really excited about giving that away, because I don't get to give away a lot of cash. So I'm really excited. If we don't get it done this month, we're going to roll it over to next month. But I really want us to be focused on that. A lot of times getting a teammate is a layering process. So be sharing now, because even if you start now, you might be getting them next month or the month after. That's often how that works. So just be faithful to it. And then I asked Mindy if she would share just a few words of inspiration with us. So I'm going to turn it over to her.
Whitney, I think, Amanda, did you see the question she asked about the production? Do you know what the production is so far? If you want to answer that.
That is such a good question. We just crossed 4,600 today. So it's coming. We actually did, I think, 1,500 since yesterday. So if you hear that number, you go, oh, that's really far from 10,000. It is amazing how quickly it changes. So I would say that purse is on the table. We'll probably want to have some new teammates for that to come true. But I mean, I don't know. We have a really strong unit. So we will just see where it ends. But that's where we're at. So great question.
Okay. Whitney asked me this afternoon to take a minute or 2. So you know what? My watch died. So I have no idea how long I have. But anyway, I won't take long. I was thinking, once she asked me, I really do start thinking and try to put some thought into it. And I think for me, what would maybe encourage me and give me great, I don't know if the word's feelings, whatever, this week is if we did something a little different. I think we're like the core group here. Is there 5-1? Because I'm on my phone, so I can't see everyone. Okay. Kind of the core group here, but I thought, wouldn't it be kind of neat if we picked one of our teammates, and however we can do this, like Whitney's to my right, Amy's below me, and whatever, to the right or left or down or up, to pray for that one teammate this week. And I think so many times we underestimate the power of prayer. And we want to compartmentalize God into this box that he can only do so much or whatever, but he's a great and awesome God. And he does exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think. And if you really just think on that verse, I mean, it's mind blowing. And it also tells us to pray without ceasing. So I'm not asking you to spend, 5 minutes like for Whitney this week, but over the course of the next 7 days, it probably would be, even if you say a minute prayer for her each day. So, maybe you know them personally, maybe it's a family issue, maybe you don't know them at all, but ask the Lord to help them in their business, help them to recruit new customers and get parties. And I know that would be encouraging to me. I've had a little bit of slump. And if I had somebody praying for me this week, which I know Whitney and Amy, they do pray for us, but I think we'll come together, I think, closer as a group if we pray for one another. At least that seems to be what I found in my life. If you're praying for somebody, you learn to love them and get to know them better. And it's just that unity. So if Whitney's all right with that, somehow we can pick a partner here. I was trying to think how we could do this, but I don't think everybody's set up the same way I am, like on my phone or computer. So maybe Whitney can assign us. Would that be all right?
That's perfect. I'm just going to go clockwise. I'll start with me. So that
Okay.
means this week I'm going to pray for Evelyn. Evelyn, you'll pray for Mindy. Mindy, you'll pray for my mom. Mom, you'll pray for Amanda. And Amanda, you'll pray for me. I love that. And I think it's so wise because you will be so much more in tune with what God is doing in them and for them when you think about them. Thank you.
And maybe you just reach out to them and ask them if they have a certain, message them, text them, whatever, if you have their number, and say, hey, what specifically can I pray for you in the business or family or whatever?
I love
So thanks.
That's such a good idea. And I think we'll get to know things about each other that we would not in any other setting, because it may not be something you want to share on Zoom where it's recorded, and it's something you could share in a private text. So thank you, Mindy. That was such a good challenge. All right, ladies, I'm going to let you go because we have a few minutes and then we have coffee and conversations. So if you have a guest that you have invited, you'll want to confirm with them real quick after this. And the link is on our Fearless Unit group. If you need it from me, let me know and I'll text it to you. But I'm excited. Nancy's going to be leading that tonight. I will be on, but Nancy will be kind of leading the conversations. I will see some of you in just a few minutes. Have a great night. Bye.